Up until about a year ago, when I did my first ISTA training, the way that I navigated most of my personal relationships was really pretty unclear. There was not a huge amount of structure behind my intentions, behind getting clear on what it was that I wanted and gaining clarity about what the other person was looking for in some sort of relationship engagement. One of the tools that we learned in this ISTA, and I've done a couple of ISTAs since, is this idea of a safer sex conversation. And they have an acronym called RBDSM, and you can use this acronym to set up and get clear on some pretty important points about what it is that you're looking for in this new connection and get a better understanding about what the other person's looking for. While this may be a really powerful tool for new connections, and it really, really is, there are parts of it as well that could also be used in existing connections inside a marriage or inside a long-term relationship, where some of the things that are unpacked in this acronym of RBDSM maybe haven't even been discussed in a 20-year marriage. And so let me jump right in and tell you what the acronym stands for and how you can use it to navigate a new connection or an existing connection, as I said. So the first letter of the acronym is R, and stands for relationship status. And for many people getting into a new connection, it's kind of an important thing to let the other person know what your current relationship status is. Are you single? Are you in a closed monogamous container where you've got specific agreements with your partner? Are you running a path of celibacy where you're not looking for intimate connections with somebody else? Or you're perhaps in a polyamorous connection where you have a partner but you are open to other connections? So getting clear about this at the beginning of a new connection is really kind of important piece to get clear on, and it's, I guess, something that we should all be doing and sometimes are not. So R is the first one. B stands for boundaries. You get the opportunity when you're going through this conversation with a new person that you're looking to connect with, where you get the chance to define what your boundaries are. What are the things that you're not a full yes to, things that you're not able to do? Some of your boundaries are going to flow from the first letter, the R. So if you're in a monogamous container, your boundaries might be anything intimate, a list of things, but you get very clear about what your boundaries are. And then you give the other person the opportunity for them to be able to outline what their boundaries are. After that is RBD, is desires. This is a huge one for me because in the past, most of my intimate connections have really been like a guess and a feeling and a hunch, and at some point some sort of like, okay, let's see if this person's into me, or I've got enough energetic signals from them that they might be interested in me. But by going through this process, when you get to D, you get to own your desires. So by the time you've understood that the person is in a specific type of relationship, you understand what their boundaries are, you get the opportunity to talk about what your desires are, and you get to say to this person, I'm really looking forward to, or my desires for this connection would be to be intimate with you, or to go for a long walk with you, or to be a business mentor, or whatever those things are. But you get the chance to really own your desires and articulate what they are in a pretty grown-up way, in which I've really never been able to do until I had this format for going through this conversational piece with connecting with new people. At the same time, the other person gets to express their desires. What is it that they're looking for out of this connection with you? RBDS. This is your sexual health status. And if it's going to be an intimate connection, you get the opportunity to talk about where you are with regards to your sexual health. Have you been tested regularly? When was the last time? What is your current status with regards to your sexual health as you know it at the moment? And be completely honest with the person and let them be completely honest about the same for them. And then make a decision about how you choose to connect if you're going to be connecting intimately with all the information. And this is, I guess, something that my intimate connections never really had. We would sort of get to the last phase and be fumbling around in the dark to try and find protection or something like that. And it wasn't clearly defined up front. And I know even as I'm saying it, it's like I feel a little bit anxious about doing it, but it's, just makes a connection so much easier when you get the chance to be completely open and honest about these things. So the S stands for sexual health, RBDSM. And the last part of this acronym is meaning. And this again feels like such an important thing to gain clarity on up front when you're starting a new connection with somebody. And that's, what is the meaning of this? Like, what are you looking for in this connection? I'm meeting you tonight. I'd like to be intimate. for one night and then I'm getting on an airplane and we're never going to speak again. Or I'm looking for my knight in shining armor or the woman of my dreams, and I'd like to see where this goes. And, so that at the very beginning, both parties can be completely clear about what sort of intention they have and the meaning that they're both looking for from this new connection, so that you're not left guessing the next day where you start sending a billion messages and the other person wasn't a full yes to staying connected. Their meaning was a one night stand or just the lunch or whatever the deal was. But getting clear about what those meanings are up front really is such a beautiful, beautiful way to be able to be honest about what it is that you need. And then by the time you've gone through this exchange of information and complete clarity going through RBDSM, you get to a stage where you can both say, cool, we are going to blah, blah, blah with the following desires, the following boundaries. We know where we're going to start this connection. And it just gives you a really beautiful place to start a new connection. So I hope that is something that you can use. It's profound for me, the simplicity of it and how much clarity it would have given to so many of the past connections that I've had and navigated just by winging it and feeling how it goes and just seeing what happens. And yeah, maybe it's something that you can use. I'm sharing this content in my new weekly newsletter called 30-Second Thursdays, which is really just a point email of a couple of things that I'm thinking about, stuff that I'm implementing in my life, content that I'm consuming or hacks that I'm using in my life. And this was one of them, and it's pretty profound. And maybe it's something that you can use. If you would like to get that weekly newsletter, you can go to my website, which is garethpickering.com, and sign up. And I'll see you next week. Ciao.